All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. It is Saturday, May 10th. We got two NBA playoff games to dive into in today's video. Like we always do, I'm going to dive into both of these games. I'm going to give you my prediction on the side. I'll give you my prediction on the total. We'll talk about any other plays like player props that we like within the game as well. But as always, guys, keep an eye down on the pinned comment of this video. That'll take you to all of my final plays, so what I'm actually rolling with myself. If that does interest you, it's absolutely free down in the pinned comment. Alright, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. I tell you guys I'm a dummy all the time. They don't suck. They've just been sucking. Get them down to -3 for more juice than Jose Canseco in his prime. Tell me you're new without telling me you're new. So don't go jumping down my throat in the comments, right? If you want to fade me, or if you do want to ride me, this still leaves a bad taste in my mouth, right? And remember, more chins, more wins. In terms of how we did yesterday, 2 games, only rolled with 1 play, a half unit. Oh, we cashed it. Thunder, first quarter money line there comes through for us. I believe it was, 28-22, if I'm not mistaken? So good to see them get out and running early in the game. And honestly, that might be something that we go back to. If you watch yesterday's video, there's a lot of historical data on the Thunder have really dominated the first quarter against the Nuggets, even dating back into the regular season. So a nice little win there. You know what? One more cha-ching. 2 cha-chings, 1 cash. Why not? Let's pull some of that momentum into today, because if you remember, we went 2-0 the night before. So a small little 3-0 streak here. We've had our ups and downs during the NBA playoffs, so I don't want to get too high on myself, but nonetheless, let's pull some of that recent momentum into today. Guys, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. On days like this with just a couple games, or I have one final play, I'm so reading all of the comments and so into the comments, seeing what angles you guys come up with. So make sure you're dropping your favorite plays down in the comments as well. Yes, we've kind of retired the ride of the day, if you guys know what that is, for the NBA season. It's coming back next week to the MLB, which will be exciting, but still, it doesn't hurt to get your plays down in the comments, because 1, I'm having a hell of a time reading them, and 2, it is helping a lot of people out there if they do want to go and ride with you down in the comments. So make sure to drop your favorite plays down in the comments. Let's jump into this game. Starting off with a womp womp. That is cleansing all the demons the Celtics have had to face so far. As a Celtic fan, this has been a really hard series to watch. You know, multiple reasons. Obviously, they've looked really good at times this season, or this series, and then just they want to play 30 minutes and that's it, right? So really tough. Credit to the Knicks. I said it in the last video we talked about this game. I said if we learned anything from game 1, it's that no lead is safe with this Knicks team, and what happened in game 2. Pretty much the damn same thing. I do think the Celtics win this one, but at some point, my Celtics bias, my favorite team out of all sports, probably has to come out. And maybe it is right now, but that being said, Porzingis being a little banged up, the Celtics now in New York, they have looked kind of crappy, and if you look at the box score for the last 2 games, I think we're getting a pretty manageable number here at -6. You know what I mean? Like, I do think that all that has led into the better team having a pretty valuable price right now. When I say the better team, I do still mean that, and this is not ragging on Knicks. Like, I'm a Celtics fan that's really never had a problem with the Knicks. I kind of think that this Knicks team, they're gritty. You know, Brunson, do I love that he, you know, gets all the foul calls and whatnot? No, when you're playing against him, that stinks. But this is a guy that, you know, made something of himself for sure. Thibodeau's a hard-nosed coach. Like, realistically, I don't mind Knicks or Knicks fans, but what I will say is I still do think the Celtics are the better team. I don't think I'm being biased in that. If we didn't have these last 2 games, I think everyone in the world, including Knicks fans, would probably feel like that. The thing is, people are using a microscope and looking at the fourth quarter of these games and acting like that's what's been happening the entire series. The Celtics still have won like 75% of this series. They just can't close out games. And I think the shooting comes around at some point. If it doesn't, congrats to the Knicks fans, because you're going to roll us, because the Celtics motto has been live and die by the 3. What have they done these first 2 games? They've died by the damn 3. And I think they've only had, and this is why I do like the Celtics too, these 2 games, right? They've only had, I think it was like 6 games, maybe 7. I think it was 6 games in the regular season worse shooting from 3 than they had in these first 2 games. So that's pretty telling to me. So give me the Celtics in this one, solely based on the fact that their shooting, I think, is due to turn around. Can the Knicks keep up with them? the way they've been shooting it, yeah, I wouldn't say no, but I don't think we're going to, get another game like we had in game 1 out of OG Anunoby. I love OG Anunoby, I really do, but I think he is going to be more of like a 15 to 17 type guy, right? And based on my player prop, we'll talk about that in a little bit, it also kind of indicates that I do think it's going to be a Cat and Brunson show, and I don't know if that'll be enough to keep up with the Celtics team that finally hits some threes. But again, totally giving credit to the Knicks fans out there, or even Knicks bettors. It's like, if the Celtics don't hit their threes, I don't really think they stand a chance. Like, I am very much pinning it in on one thing. With that being said, I think it kind of correlates to look at the Celtics team total as well. Game 1, yes, it went to overtime, and what they score? 105, right? Through the first 4 quarters, so regulation, they only scored 100, if I'm not mistaken. Today, their team total is up at, I think it was, 104.5. I think that they score 105 here today. Head-to-head against this Knicks team, they've done that in 9 before last game. 9, I think it was 10 actually, 10 straight games prior to that. Even in that overtime game, they did, right? Which now, obviously, the overtime game, you got those extra 5 points, didn't happen in regulation, but facts are facts. It still happened. So, yeah, Celtics over 104.5. And them minus the 6. I don't mind. If I had to prioritize, I'd probably just say go out there and score. And again, they've shot, 20? In game number 1, they shot from 3, 20. Yeah, they shot 25% in both games from 3. Even Knicks fans can't sit there and feel confident about that because that tide has to turn at some point. So give me the Celtics. In terms of a total, I guess I'll lean full game over, but I like that Celtics team total a little bit more. If we're taking a peek at a player prop, I'm actually going to fade a Nick here. And I think that he can get to 12, 13, 14 points. But I'm still taking the under 14.5 from Mikal Bridges. And this is just kind of going to be based off of head-to-head data. 5 straight games, including both playoff games in which he's playing a ridiculous amount of minutes, he's failed to score 15 points. So does that mean he's due? That could be. I will give you that, but realistically, the guy's playing his last, I guess we just look at this series, right? 51 minutes in game number 1, shot the ball 13 times, only shot 23%, only had 8 points. Game number 2, played 43 minutes, shot the ball 33% from the field, 6 of 18, only scored 14 points. 14 would be okay here for us today. I guess the one concern that I would have is that he does like to shoot in the mid-range, right? Or that kind of extended in the paint. That's not necessarily where the Celtics are very good at defending, but they are really good at defending the spot up on the perimeter, as well as in transition, which are where he scores 24% and 23%. Almost 50% of his points are coming from those zones and those play types. So I like the Mikal Bridges under today. If I had to rank these, I'd probably take a peek at team total, over for the Celtics, Mikal Bridges, and then Celtics minus the 6 points. We may add some plays in this game because I'm sure as hell going to be looking at it a lot today. So keep an eye on the final plays, guys. If we add anything that we don't talk about in the video, I'll make sure to give a little blurb on the site and on the post as to why I like it, just so you know my reasoning and rationale. Actually, you know what? I did think of one more player prop that I like in this game. What a transition. Over on Underdog, they do have a 0.5 points line for Jason Tatum. I could see myself, in all honesty, obviously new customers getting this 0.5 points. I could see myself putting together some SGP that involves Tatum because he has not looked great this series. And I think that that's something that's bound to turn as well. But in terms of Underdog, if you guys don't know what it is an awesome player-based app in which you pick higher or lower based on their set projections. In this case, I think we're picking higher, 0.5 points. You can get the link down in the description as well as the pinned comment. You'll get this free pick, all of the promos they're offering, as well as up to $1,000 in a deposit bonus of free cash. Go ahead and check it out. Like I said, if you like players and like projecting them, this is for you. You pick 2 or more, put them in an entry together. The more you hit correct in that entry, the more you do get paid out. You can win 1,000 extra money over on Underdog. Super simple and easy. That's, I think, the best thing about this app, and I really do mean that. One, you can get it on the computer, tablet, phone, all that jazz. But the best thing about it is how easy and simple it is to get plays in. Like, you can do it like that. Get them in and have more action on the game. I've been using Underdog for, I want to say, about a year and a half now, and hasn't let me down. Really, really fun, and like I said, integrates really, really well into any system that you're using. So go ahead and check it out, guys. That link will be down below in the description, as well as the pinned comment. Let's jump into game number 2 here. We have Golden State taking on Minnesota. So we had Minnesota first quarter last game, and we've hit a few of these first quarter plays now, right? I don't know if I fully am diving into, the first quarter in this one because Minnesota did ultimately end up getting their get back, which is kind of why we thought first quarter, right? Last time out, because I thought that they'd come out sharp, come out strong, and pissed that they lost game number 1. this is still a Warriors team without Steph Curry. And I think that that is a massive deal. I mean, I don't think anyone would argue that it's a massive deal, right? So I'm going to go Minnesota minus the 5 points. Yes, they're on the road. Is that where I really want to be playing them? I honestly don't really care. This team, 28-17 on the road this year, at home this year, 26-18 on the road this year. Like, I don't think that that matters all that much. And the Warriors just slightly better at home this year. So yeah, I think this could be a decent spot to think about Minnesota. For the record too, they've covered in 54.6% of their road games this year. So yeah, I'm going to go Minnesota minus the points. If Steph Curry was playing, this would definitely be a spot in which I'd consider Golden State, but unfortunately for Warriors bettors, Warriors fans, that ain't the case. So yeah, give me a look at the Timberwolves in terms of a total. Man, I honestly, I knew that first. I said in that last game, right, game 2, that it's going to be a low-scoring game. I didn't think that the Warriors only put up 93. It ended up slightly cashing the over, but that's because Minnesota scored 117. The Warriors defense does surprisingly, which it is surprising, does actually, in terms of rating, get worse without Steph on the floor. But I have a feeling that they're going to go out there and play a little bit better defense than they did in that game number 2. I mean, Minnesota shot over 50% from the field. I think they shot 43, 45-ish% from the floor. So I think Golden State plays better defense, but I think Minnesota's defense, I think Golden State will shoot a little bit better as well. So I'm still going to lean to the over, but it's going to be a low-scoring game. So that's kind of where it's tough, where I think I maybe have this pegged at like 204, 205, 206, which is a decent amount of points, right? That's a couple possessions based on what the total is at right now, but I don't think this is going to be a runaway. Like, if we were to roll with an over here, I think we're going to have to sweat it out. So again, last game finishes at, what would that be? I think it was 210, right? I think it's a little bit lower scoring than that, but a little higher than the line we have here. Reason being, Minnesota probably comes back down to earth slightly. It's not like they had crazy numbers, but the Minnesota defense, Golden State defense probably makes Minnesota shoot that much worse. But Golden State was way down here. They have to come up and water find its level at some point offensively, right? So give me the over 200.5. Player prop wise, I think I'm going to go right back to something that we liked in that last game. And, you know, as long as we can keep getting good odds with it, I think it is really priced. This might be the last game it's priced out if he crushes it. But Brendan Podziemski here, over 3.5 assists. You know, not to jinx it, but we've cashed this pretty much every time we've touched it this year. And he has been phenomenal without Steph Curry on the floor in terms of getting potential assists and all of that, right? You look at him without Steph on the floor, he doesn't really cash it. You look at him with Steph on the floor, and this year, he's hit it in 9 of 11 games. In terms of potential assists, we'll go most recent to least. 9, 8, 7, this one only 4, but he didn't hit the over there. Then he had 12, 9, back to 10, 8. Like, this guy is getting plenty. And all we're really looking for is like 8 potential assists from him to say it's a good play. You know what I mean? We want to convert on half those. So yeah, Brendan Podziemski here, over 3.5 assists. Are we getting a little greedy, taking the same play that cashed for us? Maybe, just maybe, but I do still think, you know, at minus 115, we have a little bit of value there. Like I said, though, at some point, I think this is going to get a little priced out just due to the fact that, you know, he's been cashing it so regularly. This is either going to move to 4.5 for crazy money or going to get juiced to like minus 150, which at that point, we'd have to kind of think twice about taking it. You know what I mean? So yeah, Podziemski over 3.5 assists is the player prop that we'll look at in this one. And guys, it's going to wrap for today's show. Go ahead and comment 13, lucky number 13, if you made it this far into the video. Really do appreciate you guys tuning in and sharing all your plays in the comments. Like I said, I'm not just saying that to like get comments. I love reading the plays in the comments. Some of you guys have some really interesting angles of attack, and I also like when people are kind of recurringly showing their strategy that they're using, and it's a strategy that's been working, like a system play, because I know a lot of people say what they want to say about system plays and whatnot, but you know what? It works until it doesn't, right? And sometimes it works a lot more than that one time it doesn't, and you profit on it anyways. But nonetheless, conversation for another day. Really do appreciate it. Catch you guys in the next one, right? Peace out.